Good morning, good evening. Welcome to Wellbeing Wednesday. It is the 10th of January, 2024. We are so pleased that you found us, whether you're watching live or during a recording. Thank you so much for joining us. Today, we've got lots of things we're going to discuss, one of which being the safety of different oils for cooking with. And I know some of our regular beautiful ladies have some information they would like to share with you. So good morning, firstly, and welcome to the wonderful June Tranmer. Good morning, June. Sorry.
Hello. Hello. I'm just busy searching for said article so I can get it. I can get it up. I've got it. It's okay. I've also got some pictures of nice winter warming soups. They're not vegetarian or vegan. I'll just point this out right now. They're Chinese and therefore they include animals. So, anyway. But because I've recently discovered, you see, there's always something to learn, right? I have been studying and working with Oriental therapies for nearly 40 years. I did not know that there were 24 terms, they call them, in the year, and that they also celebrate solstice. So I'm going to be kind of keeping a track on this. I checked with Robyn. She didn't know about this either, did you, darling? No. So we're learning. Everybody's learning all the time, and we like to share what we learn, don't we? So if I've got the screen share thing, I will dive straight into the oils thing, because this follows on from what we were saying last week about preserving things in oils. And somebody said, which oil do you recommend? And Helen said, olive oil. And then Kerry piped up with coconut oil, although that sets hard in our climate. So, but all these other ones, not good. It's good to have a picture, right? Do they not look basically like petroleum? And that's the problem, because their process is very much like the refining of petroleum, and they are made in a way that is damaging to those oils. The benefits of those oils are lost in that process. Whereas sunflower seeds, for example, there's sunflower oil. Sunflower seeds are full of zinc and other good things. But if you put them into an oil, it's no use. So here we are, a natural extraction process. Coconut oil is, of course, very good for lots of other things, but you can't preserve things in it so much. But olive oil is beautiful because you can infuse olive oil with all sorts of lovely things. And Helen's got quite some expertise on that, I think. So yeah, the olive oil and coconut oil are pressed, but the way they extract the oils out of this other seeds is that there's very high temperatures and chemical solvents, and they actually use petroleum in the process. So, this is not helpful. And this is from Dr. Simon Godek, and here we are. We've come up about the subscribe thing. You can find him. He's one of our supporters, and he's really lovely. Trans fats. You see, this is a term you need to understand if you're worried about oils, because these trans fats are just not properly digestible for a start off. Plus, they're hormone disruptors, and they're part of the problem of all of our modern illnesses, including cancers and excess weight gain and hormones going amok, and all these things. So this is where the consumption was virtually zero in the early 1900s. People used lard, okay, for cooking in, and that's not a bad idea. 70 pounds, unless you're a vegetarian or a vegan, of course, which you don't understand. 70 pounds per year per person in your diet. So that all gets into your body and gets doing whatever it's going to do. Plus, it has omega-6 oils in it, which unbalances everything. you need a nice balance of omega oils. I'm not a nutritionist, and we do have nutritionists in our team somewhere who can probably clarify this a bit better than I can. But a lot of people are now taking omega-3 supplements because of this imbalance of omega-6. But there's omega-7 as well. And it's, really contributing factor to ADHD and a lot of hyperactivity in children. So it's really important to get your omega-3 oils. Oxidative stress, even olive oil, when it's heated to a high temperature, can actually get damaged and create what are called acrylamides. So for cooking, coconut oil is much better. Olive oil is better raw. And, making a salad dressing with olive oil and your favorite vinegar, and put that on your cooked vegetables as well as your raw vegetables. And of course, in this cold time, we don't really want raw things so much. Sorry, New Zealand, I know you're in summer, but for us here, we're into the warming foods. And one of the interesting things about the website that I discovered with the 24 terms, they've named this time of the year the lesser cold. Heart disease risk, cardiovascular deaths. And so there's various studies in here that so yeah, have a look at Dr. Simon. There he is. And I'll just move over to the soups. We're in the lesser yang phase right now. So that is where we want warming things like sesame oil chicken soup. And you can make chicken soup from stock after you've roasted a chicken, and save the bones and the all the sinews and all the lovely juice out of that, and simmer that, or put it in a pressure cooker if you're in a hurry, and that will make a lovely broth, and that's very strengthening and nurturing. And then you've got this, which is a lot of a story, but pictures. The effects. Sesame oil and ginger are both warm foods in Chinese medicine. Now, we've just spoken about seed oils. Sesame oil was not in that list. So I'm of a quandary here about this. So if anybody else has any more information about sesame oil, I'd love to hear it. So yeah, too much sesame oil can make you hot. The right amount will keep your body toasty warm. Ginger is milder and won't overheat you. It's more of a balancing thing, which is why people take it for their digestive systems. Whatever they're doing, if the digestive system is overheated, ginger is still good. And it's one of those things that's recommended, isn't it, in pregnancy for morning sickness. And a whole chicken. There you go. And that's that one. The other one is lotus root. Oh dear, now where is it? The walks of life. So yeah, there you've got, I mean, a lot of the Chinese, there's the lotus root with the holes in it. Now, I don't know how you're going to find that unless you go to a Chinese supermarket. But they do pork with, chunks of pork rather than slices or whatever. So yeah. And she also added seaweed. That's optional, but it's a very good thing to have in your diet. There we go. So those are just a few suggestions for the lesser cold period, which is this period
Thank
in
you.
January.
June, can I just ask you, on that last article, it said about goji berries.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
are they a superfood, or is it just was it a gimmick at the time?
No, goji berries are really good. Yes, they're full of goodness. I'm not sure about the superfood label, but it's one of those things that people have latched onto, and they are very good. It's sometimes better to soak them because they can be very hard and dry because they are a dried berry, and they can be very hard. There's another dried fruit in Chinese medicine called the juju, And it sounds like a sweetie, doesn't it? But they're a lot softer, and they're a bit like a dried plum in a way, and they're very good for nourishing the blood.
I was just thinking, I'm sure within if people would like to, but I'm a great believer in seasonal veg and vegetables and because and food, not just veg. If you eat meat, you eat meat and fish. But soups from your area, from what because like I would have grown up on stews and soups and which would have been predominantly root vegetables, and I don't actually like them, but I do eat them now. Different types of soups and things, and they're very easy to make. So you've got parsnips and carrots and turnips. I'm here in Ireland, and they love the turnip. So I'm just curious because you can eat soup all year round as well, because you've got cold soups. Gazpacho, is it from Italy? Is it called gazpacho or something like that? You've got cold soup. So different places, and I know that we've got people from all over here. Favorite soup recipes, and do people make soups? And soups are so easy. A lot of people go, I can't make soup, and I'm like, how can you not make soup? You can't go. I don't think you can go wrong with soup.
No. Chop stuff up, put it in water, boil it up. There we go.
Put it in the pan, put water in, put it in water boiler, put some seasoning in, however that may be. And there's so many recipes online, but I was just curious, people's favorite soup, those down under, and your go-to. Does everybody here that's on camera, you can put your hands up, and if you'd like, do you make soup?
Jennifer
makes soup. So
Carol?
would you be happy Emily makes it? Yeah. Robyn,
I make
most people make
best things that I can find. I make lettuce soup, and I make tomato soup, and I make soup out of whatever stock I've got and whatever rotten vegetables are going all floppy in the fridge, and plenty of herbs, and it's always variable. Oh, chilies. I always put chilies because I grow chilies as well, and they're easy to grow. They're quite hardy, and yep. So I make soups a lot.
You're a woman after my own
I like it.
heart there, Jennifer. Carrots starting to go, and I'm like, that's going in a soup. That's going in a stew.
Yeah.
Once it's not lost its crunch. So I was going to say, I think soups and stews were actually probably created. I know with meat, it was about the time with the stew, wasn't it? Casseroles and stews to keep, like, soften hot, cheap cuts of meat. Kevin, what's your soup? Kevin makes hemp soup. Is that what you just said, Kevin? Is that what you just
Go
showed
on,
me?
dive in,
Where's he
Kevin.
gone?
Hemp
Hemp
seed
Oh,
seed.
oil.
there. Yes, you see, that's
Oh,
another.
there's
That is not damaging, I think. I believe that's correct. Yeah.
Yep,
Great.
it's got negligible amount of THC, and I actually tested it and went for a employment health test, marijuana test, cannabis test, and they didn't detect it. Even though I took a tablespoon of this just before I went. I find that I like it because it's got all those linoleic acids, the gamma and alpha linoleic acids in there, and it's cold pressed local.
That's it.
So I use that or extra virgin olive oil.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
I thought you were going to tell me about soup, Kevin.
Soups, no. Soups, you can come and talk to me about soups in 6 months' time. Unless you want to come and visit me in New Zealand, and yeah, no, I still throw a whole lot of things together and have not so much a soup, but a runny stew, with a lot of leftovers, and it just depends, I do quite a few charitable things with food, and if hang on, I've got to remember not to look at the screen. I've had computer problems, so I've got three different monitors in this room. So I'll try and remember to look into the camera. Yeah, with some of the charitable food donations and recycling and stuff that comes from supermarkets that they're not allowed to sell, but it's still healthy. Sometimes I'll get a flood of something, and you know, and then I'll make, you know, 5 or 10 liters of some sort of stewy type stuff to give to people that are still suffering from Cyclone Gabriel.
Yeah, and remember, you can still preserve it. If you make a big batch of it, you can still do the preserving that I was talking about in the video last week. And I did add in the comment some advice about extra stuff that I learned from my wonderful book afterwards. Yes. Welcome, Emily. Hello, hello. I'm so
Yeah.
glad to see you there. And yes, everything out of the garden. When it's time to gather in your harvest, you can, you know, make a soup and save it for later on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see
Carol,
Monday
you
on the
have
Mend?
sorry.
Did you see our? Oh, sorry, hang on, didn't mean to do that. Press the wrong thing. Did you see the Monday on the Mend? We did mushroom soup for any vegans or vegetarians.
Oh,
We did a
nice. No, I missed
I
that.
like mushroom soup. I don't know.
No.
Carol, do you have a soup that you do?
I do soups occasionally. My question was actually something else, but my soups, I always add in my mixed greens blend, which frustrates my partner something terrible because I have to sneak it in without him knowing, which is all sorts of things I've dehydrated, like carrot tops or strawberry leaves or anything that's got nice nutrition in it, but would get wasted otherwise. So I dry it up in the dehydrator, blend it into a powder, and I always stick a spoonful of that in my soups, just for the added nutrition. Does turn everything a
Strawberry
little bit.
leaves.
Carrot
That's
tops and
fascinating.
strawberry
Yeah.
leaves. I've never done that.
Yeah,
I'm now,
There's so
oh,
much that we waste
we
that we
do.
could use. Yeah.
Yeah.
My question actually is for June about the goji berries. Can you eat them raw?
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can eat that. You buy them in a packet. Usually they're in a little packet in the health food stores or wherever, and they're dried, and some of them are extremely hard, but sometimes you can get them so you can actually chew them, and probably it's good for your jaws to do some more chewing because, you know, we've gotten out of the habit of chewing and gnawing on bones like our ancestors used to do. So a dentist told me once that our jaws are shrinking and our teeth are getting bigger, which is why we have so many people with teeth that are too big for their jaws, you know.
And
excess-
Dr. Anne
We've got
Gareth told us.
Sorry, I was going to say we've got there's a bush growing in the next village, which is why I asked about the raw ones.
Oh, you've got them before they're dry, well, but not in a plastic packet. When
No.
marvelous. I think probably you can, but I'm not an expert. Does anybody know? Anybody else know about goji
About
berries?
goji berries?
Jennifer.
Yeah, yes, you can. I grow them. That the birds eat them often before I get them because they go for them when they're slightly going orange. They're a very graceful plant and that droop over, so you either have to tie it back, and it has multiple stems and gets quite big. They're very small on the plant, so you do need quite a lot of goji berry bush to get enough goji berries, and they taste very sweet and delicious fresh.
Brilliant,
Nice.
lovely, thank you very much.
There you
And for
go.
the oils, avocado oil,
Oh, yes, yes.
really good.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very similar to our own skin oil, if you like. So we absorb it really nicely, and that's usually cold pressed.
I use avocado to cook with.
It's very good for preserving things in as well, if you're preserving your herbs and things. But
Jennifer, did you want to ask another question because you still have your hand up, or was that from before?
Just going through
No, that was before.
comments.
Oh, okay.
And just about the soup. Those that aren't talking, but soup, I think that's fascinating, and I do like the idea of keeping bits and adding them in. I do that sometimes when I make things, freeze it and then pop it into the next one. I like that idea. So I'd love to have a taste of that soup, as long as it hasn't got meat. I suppose it used to have meat in, for a 2,000-year-old soup. Broccoli soup full of cumin, pressure cook the beans and barley with meat, then vegetables, and cool the soup, fish out the bones and put it through a blender. Turmeric, black pepper and ginger are always added, coriander and spicy parsnip. These sound delicious. I want some invitations. Yes, I like the idea of that. A soup off.
Yeah.
Loads of people make soups, and it seems that some of them, what I'm getting is that a lot of it is using the stuff that is given freely from the garden as well. I really like that, and I love that idea of those leaves that I'd usually just put back in my composter, the strawberry leaves and carrot tops, and that just sounds, the greens sounds excellent.
Yeah,
Talking of
mentioned
greens,
beans and grains like barley. Barley is a very cooling grain, but it can balance out if you have a lot of spices. You don't want to have anything too overly heating, because you can end up with too much heat, so you gotta be careful. So yeah, putting some barley in it would not be a bad idea. And for the vegetarians and vegans, beans and pulses are really great in soups. And whizzing them up. Yeah, I used to whiz stuff up for my kids so they couldn't tell what was in it. Just confuse them.
I think every mother's mashed up a soup at some point before the blenders came in. Talking of green plants, I'm going to go with what we just prior to us recording, talking about the aloe vera as a plant. Now, I don't know about its nutritional value, but I do know that it does have nutritional value, and I'm hoping that others will know stuff about aloe vera. It's a plant, and I'm just going to show my one. This is my one, and it started this big inroads in 2017, and you can see that some of the leaves are all nipped, because if there's a burn or a cut, anything to do with the skin, actually the skin getting damaged, break off. As a parent, I know that myself, I always had an aloe vera when my children were growing up, and it would be literally go and break the aloe vera and rub it onto the affected area. And it's a beautiful healing plant. And it wasn't until 2017 that I actually had an aloe vera drink. Oh my gosh, I'm never ingesting it again. I've got to be honest, it's not for me. But I'm aware that people do enjoy it and love it and everything else. And even when I break off the plant and I forget that I've done that, and I put my finger near my mouth, I'm like, why does my mouth taste horrible? So, but I just don't. I can't take the flavour at all. Aloe vera plant in their home. They're really hardy, and I can't express that enough. I've managed to kill a spider plant for the first time in my life, and if that continues, and it's not native to these shores, but they are so hardy. It does need repotting, but I would really encourage you to get one. It has vitamins A, E, C, antioxidants. Thank you, Kerry, for telling me this. Vitamin B12, folic acid, can't say that. Antioxidants and neutralizes free radicals. So there you go. I've learned. I knew it was good, and I'll probably not remember any of that, because I'm woeful at the actual remembering things. But it is very, very good for you. And I can't emphasize enough to young families, mothers, please get an aloe vera plant in your house. It is just, I can't, when your children cut themselves, when they burn themselves, and but just the whole idea of them going to a plant as well and getting it direct. There's so much psychological goodness in that, soul food in that they see the plant and the plant heals. I'm not really good on these products that have been created. I know that some people are very ethical, and lots of people have them in their skincare, and I don't know how to make those things or do those things, but you can find out. And I know that we're now going to go and do some movement. I think we're heading over to Robyn.
Good morning, Robyn. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Morning, everybody. Thank you for the information so far. I'll just show you. It's not my plant. I can't take credit for this, but it's similar to yours, Helen. My partner did this one. It was only small when he got it a few months ago, and it's grown quite dramatically. Right, so
fabulous plants.
Yeah. So you can stay seated if you'd like to. I'm just going to do some gentle movement just to get the body waking up, get the energy flowing. Okay, so let's just stand with our feet about hip width or shoulder width apart, whichever feels more comfortable. Just straighten up just as much as you can comfortably. Just imagine a string pulling up from the crown of the head. Shoulders down, relaxing your shoulder blades down the back of the body. Allowing your arms to just go to the sides. Your feet connected to the earth. Just bringing your attention to your feet. Let your mind have a rest. Feel your toes and your heels. The balls of the feet, the outside edges, inside edges. And just feel that sense of connection to the earth. Just talking about the lovely plants and stuff, and just feeling grateful for everything that the beautiful earth provides. I'm grateful every day for what's provided for us. And then bring your attention to the crown of the head and connect up to the sky. To the sun, the moon and the stars. If you're feeling a bit cold, imagine a beautiful radiant sun and being fully immersed in that. If you're feeling a bit warm over the other side of the world, just imagine that cooling moon, the new moon, and the beautiful stars. Or you can imagine it all. Getting a sense of that light, just showering us with beautiful energy. Being fully immersed in that light. The front, the back, the left and right sides. And down through the centre, energizing, relaxing, soothing, softening, whatever your body needs right now. And then just tucking your chin back so your neck's in alignment with your spine, tucking your tailbone down, opening up through the lumbar region of the spine, just nice and gently, and that just pushes the pelvis forward slightly and it softens the knees. We don't want to put any pressure on the knees or any of the joints. So if you do have any challenges, health challenges, just listen to your own body. It's very gentle anyway, but just listen to your own body. If anything feels uncomfortable, just adapt the movement or have a rest. And we're just going to start to turn nice and gently from our centre. And just bringing the arms round to the front and the back and just gently tapping the front, the lower abdomen, the lower dantian, just underneath the navel. And at the back of the body. Not directly on the spine, just at the side of the spine. Being gentle. And this helps to wake up the joints in the body, get the energy moving, the chi, the bloods. Nice and gently. This is what I do every morning. I do at least 100, which only takes about 2 minutes. So you can do little short movements. You don't have to do a full hour. It's good if you do, but anything is better than nothing. That's what I always say. And just breathe. Breathe into one side, breathe out the other side. And just allow your body to open up gently. Allow the tension to be released. Loosening up the spine. Getting that energy moving up and down the spine. The shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, the hips, the knees, ankles. Just notice where you can feel this movement. And if it's comfortable, you can turn your head, just looking slightly behind you to wake up the neck. If you're prone to dizziness, please be mindful that you don't turn too far and bring on a dizzy attack, which I've done a few times. And just breathe and let go, just as much as you can. And after a while, this affects the parasympathetic nervous system, so the relaxation response coming through the body. You might notice where you're holding on to tension with this movement. Might be your shoulders. Might be somewhere else in the body, but just notice. You can take deep breaths, especially if you feel intense. Some cleansing breaths. If you feel any dizziness with too much of a rush to the head, you can sit down. Just go back to normal breathing. And then we'll just gently slow it down from 4 to 3 to 2 to 1, and then neutral. And just allow your arms to flop to the sides. And with this exercise, when you loosen up, you find that your arms might feel a bit longer because you release some tension and opened up through the tissues. So just check in with yourselves, notice how you feel. Be kind. Smile at yourself, smile at the day, whether it be the beginning of the day or the end of the day. And then we're going to breathe in and just reach up. Let's have a stretch up to one side and just slightly open up through the ribs on one side if that's comfortable. Not stretching to 100%. Then breathe out to the center, keeping the arms up. Breathe in to the opposite side, opening up through the ribs there. Breathe out to the center. Let's do 2 more. Breathe in and out. Facing the palms towards each other. Connecting the points there on the palms of the hands, the Aloe points. And then breathe in and imagine that you're holding on to the sun or the moon, the stars. Breathe out and bring that light down again, like a showering, lovely chi energy. Gently breathing out and bringing that light in again. Let's do that again. Breathe in, reaching up and out. This is a good one to do at any time of the day, but it's especially good in the morning to clear your energy, and the evening before you go to bed. Clearing the day away or clearing the sleep energy away, just to wake up. And then let's do some shoulder rolls. My shoulder's a bit achy this morning. Been doing some cardio, some more exercise. So just opening up nice and gently, releasing, relaxing, just breathing with the movement. So breathing in as you lift your arms, breathe out as you relax the arms. You can bend the knees if you want to when you're releasing down. And then let's go the opposite way, like we're doing the butterfly swimming. If it feels easier, just keep it very small, the circles. And then let's just shake out the shoulders, just to release. And do a little shimmy. And then just letting your arms go to the sides again. We're going to gently drop the head, breathing out as we drop the head. Breathe in and look up. Breathe out. Now this can help to energize the body again, getting the oxygen to the brain, the fluids to the brain, up through the spinal column. So breathing in that life-giving energy from the earth. Breathe out, softening and releasing back down. Fill yourself up and just release any stagnation. One more. And just shake out again, shake through the wrists and the fingers, shake the legs. Ah, it's a little bit more awake now. Well, let's rub the hands together. Let's stimulate the energy, the palms of the hands and the backs of the hands. And it's absolutely freezing here in Lancashire this morning. So we do this to get warm as well, naturally rubbing the hands together. And let's do some patting. So starting off on one side of the shoulder, patting the neck, anywhere around that area. We've got a lung point there just underneath the collarbone. So let's just breathe in and out, just opening the lungs. Going up to the shoulder. There's a gallbladder channel there, just opening up through the body. And then down the inside of the arm. So if you just make your hand a little concave and just tap firmly but gently. Then clap the hands, activating the Aloe points again. And then the back of the hand. So we've got the yang meridians going up the back of the arm, the yin meridians down the inside of the arm. Just opening them. And then underneath the arm, that doesn't get a lot of attention, does it? So just patting there, we've got the heart meridian underneath the armpit. If the patting gets too invasive, some people don't like it, you can do massage as well. And then patting down to the waist, back up again. Get the lymphatic system working as well more effectively. Shake that out. And then do the other side. Doing as much or as little as you feel like doing. The lung point, breathing in and out. Down the inside of the arm. Back up the outside. So this helps to open up the channels and get the energy moving. Stimulates the Wei Qi, the defensive Qi, to help protect the body. And then underneath the arm again, going down to the waist. Up. Shake it out. Just like that. If anyone remembers Tommy Cooper. Just like that. And then we're going to go around the back. Now, please don't force your arms round if it's not easy to do this. Just tap where you can reach. And just gently tapping with the backs of the hands, if that feels comfortable. Again, waking up the kidneys, just at the sides of the spine. Warming up the muscles there. And the lower back. So this helps to stimulate the kidneys, looking after your kidneys more so in the winter, the cold months, keeping warm. And then a little massage. As close as you can get to there. The bottom, if you're standing up. Got the bladder channel, so the bladder is related to the kidneys and the winter as well. If it's comfortable, just going down the backs of the legs, following that channel down there, around the outside edges of the feet, and then coming back up the insides of the legs. Hope it's not too noisy on the recording. And then down the sides of the legs this time. Back up the insides of the legs, you've got a kidney channel coming up there, spleen, liver, and then just tapping underneath the ribs. Just breathe in and out while you do this, waking up the digestive system, getting ready for breakfast or digesting your evening meal, whatever time it is. And then we'll go round the digestive tract. So coming up on the right, I'll just turn around, underneath the ribs over to the left, down on the left side, and then back over to the right. So this is good to do about half an hour before a meal to stimulate the enzymes to digest the food more effectively. And there's also massage as well. So I wouldn't tap just after a meal. You can wait half an hour after a meal, but you can massage to help that digestive process. And I've been doing this a lot recently because I've had some issues with my digestion. And it really helps. It's very soothing as well. So if you do it with some oil on bare skin, that's some of your favourite oil, or on top of clothes, just nice and gently. And it helps to release any stagnation there, so you might get some wind up or down. But it's just releasing any stuck energy. And then let's rest and digest. One hand on top of the other, crossing over at the thumbs. Just coming back to your centre, the lower dantian, which is the main energy centre in the body. And let's just rest. Just breathe into that area. Let your breath go down. Fill that area up as you breathe in, like you're filling up a balloon, and then breathe out nice and softly. Just letting the tummy soften back towards the spine. We'll do that twice more. Breathing in, filling yourself up. It's like you're filling up your reservoir of chi. Breathe out. And again, breathing in, filling up. And out. Now, when it's cold, or if you get cold in your stomach area, you can put a hot water bottle there on the stomach, the tummy, or the back of the body to warm through that area, to warm up that lower dantian. Get that fire going. And then rub the hands together again. Shake it off, shake off any excess. And we'll just do a little crossover, cross crawl. I've been doing this more since June introduced us to it. Just waking up the left and right hemispheres of the body, the brain. Good for balance. We need more balance. And coordination. Just get that energy moving better, more effectively. You can bring your arms up higher, get that heart going. And then rub the hands together again. Bring your feet together. We'll just do 3 drawing down the heavens. So breathe in, breathe out, just settling down that energy. And again, grounding into the earth. Breathe in and out. And we'll just do one more. Breathe in, gathering some more of that lovely light energy. Palms together. Breathe out, centering, aligning, connecting to your heart. And let's just think of something we're grateful for today. And it can be absolutely anything. Food, cup of tea, good health. And the fact that you've showed up today, it's an absolutely wonderful thing to do. And anybody else that watches later, give yourselves a bow because you deserve it. Well done, everybody. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.
Thank you, Robyn. That was wonderful as always. I know everybody loves your part of Wellbeing Wednesday, and we all feel energized.
Thank you, Robyn. It was fabulous.
It did.
Sorry, I was just going to say, Robyn mentioned the new moon. Can you hear me? It's my internet pants.
You're on mute, June.
Just getting ready.
Before you say that,
berries, I can't press buttons anymore.
Before we lead on to you, June, I was just going to say to Robyn, when you were doing all the tapping, it reminded me of when we did the foot stamps. Do you remember way back last year, the 3 each side to build bone density. And I thought that followed on quite well from all the tapping to give 3 big foot stomps each side. Maybe we can do that next week.
Oh, yeah. Good
And
idea.
before we lead on to June talking about the new moon, your qigong was perfect because I only read yesterday about what to do during the new moon and regarding exercise. And my exercise that I usually do is quite full on and high intensity, whereas maybe it should be slightly coming down over the next few days. But I'd love to introduce June again because she has much more information on the new moon.
Well, a little bit more, a little bit more. I'm very fond of following all the various people who talk about moons and the phases. And Pam Gregory is obviously one of our favorites. She's a supporter of PHA and she's absolutely wonderful. And Heather Ensworth is another one. They're both on YouTube, so I would encourage you to go and have a look for them under their proper names. There's somebody trying to pretend to be Pam Gregory that isn't, so it's just Pam Gregory. And then also our friend Claire Otwell, the Oily Witch, who can't make these meetings, but she does a little video for us. And we've got 1.5 minutes, well, nearly 2 minutes of her talking about the new moon, which I'm going to play in a second. But what Heather said that I listened to yesterday was actually it'd be really good at this particular new moon to do a little bit of a fire ceremony type of thing. If you haven't got an open fire, just get a candle and just have a little commune with the fire. And also she was saying, like, normally people say at full moon, let go of stuff you don't want, write it down and burn it, or, you know, do whatever you want to do with it. And then also in the new moon, you write down things that you want to attract into your life. So it's setting intentions of, you know, what you would like to see in the world or for yourself particularly, or intentions for another person. So yeah, but this one, she's suggesting both, which I thought was quite interesting. So do some letting go, because we're still in this big letting go phase. I mean, we're all going through this apparently, that we need to be letting go of stuff. So as a lot of us are finding, there's quite a lot more. You think you've let go of stuff, and there's always more. So I'm just going to find Claire and her beautiful video, and I will oh no, do you know what? I've done it again. I've got to go back and hang on 1 second because I've not done the share the sound thing. There's that little button. Where's it gone? Oh, they keep moving stuff.
While June is
Keep talking. Yes.
While June's preparing there, we chatted about aloe vera a bit earlier. Aloe ferox is, I think, overall is much more potent than aloe vera. It's a much bigger plant with much bigger fronds, and it doesn't send up all those little pups like aloe vera does. Yeah, June, just put your hand up and tell me to shut up, and then
No, keep going, keep going. Keep going. I'm trying to find the button where it says shares.
It's where the microphone is, June, down on the mute, where it says
Oh,
mute.
it's on the microphone. It's not on the video, is it? Thank you. You'd think I didn't do this every week, right?
They change it. They try and fool us.
Just a
But
newbie.
We find it.
We can find it. Together, we're stronger.
Of course.
Oh, Lordy.
So does anybody have any goals that they're going to write down?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Living in a way that bringing compassion to everything. because I think even when things are annoying, we need to bring compassion. And I still can't find it, Kerry. Help.
So have you not got a mute button at the bottom of your screen next to your video?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
And so click on the little arrow thing.
Yeah, I'm in there.
And it should, does it not say there?
There's usually a little button down at the bottom of the audio thing.
And
And
if you go to audio settings,
yeah,
so maybe I can do it for mine and it will work.
I don't know. I don't
Try
know.
it.
Okay, I'll just try it. I'll just try it. We'll see what happens.
If not, we'll just put the link in.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Where's she gone? Oh, for goodness sake.
Live with the
Live glitches. Honestly. Oh, it's gone. Oh, I see. It's gone on to. Okay, we'll start again. It moved because I went onto my Zoom settings, and so it hid the YouTube thing. All righty, let's go. We'll try this. Oh,
No, sorry, it's not working.
no.
Sorry, oily witch. That was
Turn
very
it off.
interesting.
New moon is in Capricorn. Is this what she's trying to say? So yeah.
We can add the link into the recording anyway.
Yeah, we can.
I'd like to know what that picture is Lisa's got. That little tree.
Oh, the little tree. Yeah. Beautiful.
What is it, Lisa? It's
It's,
always
I'm not too sure what it is, but the larger picture says to grow in grace. Yeah.
very interesting.
It's a bonsai tree, isn't it? I think.
Bonsai. Yeah, it's a little bonsai. I'm not too sure what they started off to make it.
Beautiful. Well, would anyone else like to share anything before we leave today or ask any questions? No. Helen, do you have any wise words to end our session with?
No, I was just going to speak about the new moon earlier, but went to the video. So it is a time to set your intentions and to tap into your rituals and see what you're planting in the darkness, and to come fruition in the light.
Yeah, this particular one is quite interesting because there's a lot of things moving into Aquarius, which is all about this, the new age of Aquarius that we're coming into. We're leaving behind the Capricorn and the 3D obsession with material things and becoming more spiritually minded, and people are developing their telepathy. It's really everything we think and say, people are picking up on, whether they're in the room or not. So be mindful when talking about other people or expressing your feelings. Make sure you do it with compassion. That's my goal.
Sounds very wise to me. Can I just change the subject just because we have some of our wonderful friends from New Zealand, and I'm not really sure where the fruit comes from, but soursop. Does anybody know about soursop fruit?
I believe
No.
it's from the Caribbean as well. It's a cancer. It's for fighting cancer. It's not a great tasting fruit, but that's my understanding. I've heard of it via a Caribbean route and Dr. Sebi. But it is a cancer fighter, from what I can gather.
Thanks, Helen. I'll have to see where we can source it. I've heard of it, but I just didn't know too much about it, but I know it's very beneficial.
You can get it in the UK. I've got friends that have got talked about it and got it in the UK, so you can get it in the UK.
I'm pretty sure we've got herbalists in the team somewhere.
In our team?
In the PHA for sure.
Oh.
Tony Tony might know.
Yes, we'll ask
Ask
Tony.
Tony. Hmm.
Yeah, she has lots of information regarding that kind
Herbs.
of thing.
Yeah.
Herbs. Okay then. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you to Helen, June, and Robyn, and everybody here for your participation and giving us some of your valuable information. Thank you to anyone that's watched the recording. Thank you for finding us. And on behalf of the People's Health Alliance, thank you so much and happy Wellbeing Wednesday. See you next time.